Big day today, guys. We're talking the top 5 things I love about the 2021 Royal Enfield Meteor 350. Stay tuned. Yeah, we got deer everywhere. Any more back there? What's up, riders? Old Man Ronin here. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, today I thought we would talk about the top 5 things that I love about this bike, and there's probably more than 5, but we're going to start with the basics. And the first one is, that's right, affordability. This thing is, it comes in between $43.99 and $45.99 as far as manufactured suggested retail price, and of course those prices are dependent on where you live. Now this is obviously US dollars I'm talking. It could change in whatever country you're in or whatever region you're in, or if the supply and demand meets it. You know, that's the whole key. These things are popular right now, and there's a very good reason why. And the first thing we're talking about, affordability, kind of fits the niche right there. I mean, the thing is easy to maintain. It's fairly inexpensive to maintain. The initial cost is low. So it makes it a good bike for somebody that's just getting into motorcycles, or maybe they're an older couple that want to have you know, they're tired of paying the big insurance on the big Harleys and the big BMWs and the whatnot. So they want to have something that's a little lighter, more fun. Particularly, you know, like I say, I'm in my early 60s, and I'll tell you, this bike is just a breeze to ride. And I think that factor, along with the fact that it's easy to maintain and it's relatively inexpensive, is a really good point for why to buy the bike. Let's see if we can get not killed here. But as far as affordability goes, like I mentioned before, fairly inexpensive to maintain. I think that's a critical cost factor. It's really skinny on fuel. I'm telling you. They advertise 67 miles a gallon, and I think they're being a little conservative on that, because I want you to check out this clip right here. I wanted to stop and put gas in it and see what kind of mileage, and in that 90 miles we ended up putting exactly 1 gallon of the fuel in there. So I'm not saying it gets 90 miles a gallon, but with 2 people we rode 90 miles on 1 gallon of fuel. So yeah, I'm telling you. Now, I'm not saying, like I mentioned there in that clip, I'm not telling you that it gets that kind of mileage, but I always fill up the gas tank to the exact same level, and then I reset the trip meter, and that's real world. So I would say it's probably in reality getting about 85 to 87 miles a gallon on that particular day. And I'm not saying it's going to do that all the time, and that's probably the 67 mile a gallon they're talking about as an average. But man, this thing, and we're riding 2 up then, it was really skinny on fuel. And you know, the price of things today, woohoo, yeah, that's important. So the affordability factor, that it's inexpensive to purchase to begin with, and then the fact it's got a big warranty to it, 3 years, unlimited mileage, I mean, and roadside assistance. What? I'm telling you, folks, that is a huge factor, which is why I'm listing them, but I'm not telling you the order they're in, because I think they're all important. But I think the last one will be the most fun for you. Fit and finish. I'll tell you, the paint jobs on these bikes, and we'll put a little B-roll right here. The paint job on this, I've got the Supernova Edition, in that they call it the Supernova Brown. My God, is it beautiful! And but the fit and finish on this bike is par with anything I've ever ridden, and at what, 1/5 of the cost when you're getting into a bike at the Supernova Edition of $45.99, the suggested retail price, and the fit and finish on it is amazing. I'll tell you what, the guys there in India that are making this bike and painting this motorcycle are really, emphasis on really, dedicated to their craft, because this thing is beautiful. I mean, it's incredible. And I know they do a lot of hand pinstriping as well too. So when you get that kind of craftsmanship, that's just perfect to me. I mean, it really is. They should be charging more. Now, don't do that, but they should be, because if you had this in a Harley, my God, that would be a CVO, and I'm not kidding you. This would be the equivalent to a Harley CVO as far as the paint schemes and the paint jobs. And there's 3 different levels of trim that you can get. Like I said, this happens to be the Supernova, and I'll list the other ones on the side there. And they're all equally beautiful, and I'll tell you, they're equally well done. So no matter what you want to get into as far as the fit and finish and what colorations and the options that you have, and I'll tell you, one of the cool things about the bike is if you go to the website and you're going to order one, you can literally make it exactly the way you want it coming right to you if you order one from the factory. Now, I don't know how long it takes, because you know these things are being shipped in from India, but as far as if you want to have the bike specifically for you come right off the showroom floor, go onto their website and design one for you, and then you can take it to your local dealer and say, this is what I want. Performance, I know. Performance on the 350? What are you, nuts? But it's really true. This thing will do everything you ask it to do. I mean, it's not a super fast bike, obviously, but it's a cruiser. And what do you do in a cruiser? You're not racing it. You're not doing a drag strip with a cruiser. You're not zipping to NASCAR style racing with a cruiser. You're getting on the bike and you're cruising. Easy peasy, baby. That's what I always like to say. And this is perfect for an ultralight cruiser. You're going to get with 2-up. And if you guys check out the video that we did 2-up on the 2021 Royal Enfield Meteor with Iron Lady, I'll put the card there at the top too, that you can go check it out. We were able to do 70 mile an hour plus 2-up on this motorcycle, and they actually say that this motorcycle will do 70 miles an hour. And they don't say with 1 or 2 people or a load, but I'll tell you what, me not being the most fittest person in the world, me and Iron Lady were able to cruise at 70 miles an hour with no issues whatsoever, and the engine didn't sound like it was overworking. I'll put a little blurb in here about that as well. Let's see if we can get 72 out of it. Yay! Now back her down. There's no sense of abusing the little guy, but yeah, if you can ride 2-up and hit 70 miles an hour on a 350 engine, 349 cc's actually, and it's like I say, cruising here at 65, which is where I'm going to keep it. That's primarily most of the roads in the United States and pretty much the worldwide, except if you're in Germany or out west of the US. Man, and it's doing it without any issue. Yeah, I mean, seriously, it did 72, and I mean, we didn't stay there very long, but I just wanted to see. That was our first 2-up impression, and I just wanted to see. I really encourage you to watch that video. It was kind of eye-opening for me. This motorcycle has been eye-opening for me the day that I got it, and the first thing that I liked about it was that the looks. I remember saying when I was looking at some of the different models that were available, and I said to Iron Lady, I said, man, that brown, that Supernova Brown is just simply gorgeous. The 2-tone paint, the way that it looked, and I fell in love with that color. And they actually have that coming out in the Classic 350 as well too. It's a little bit different style, but I did think it's beautiful. I actually wish it was in the Himalayan because I think it's gorgeous. Make a camo version of that, wouldn't that be great? But as far as performance-wise, it's going to do the things to its limitations, and it's going to exceed its limitations. In other words, you're going to be able to ride 2-up. You're going to be able to take it on a longer trip. We actually did a longer trip that'll be coming out pretty soon, where we did over 250 miles on this bike, 2-up, and it was the day that we did the 90 mile a gallon video. And like I say, I'm not going to guarantee that wasn't scientific, but I filled up, rode 2-up with her, put gas in it, exactly the same spot, and we got 90 mile a gallon according to the speedometer and the fuel gauge. So what? What are you going to do? If you notice, I got the tripper on, guys. I wanted to do it back here in the country to see exactly how she would do, you know, down the road. And I have a video for that too, and I'll put a little link in the description here, and as well as a card about the tripper navigation, my first impression of it. But as far as performance, man, great fuel economy. It'll get you where you want to go, and again, it's a 350, but that 350 engine rides better than my 450 Honda that I used to have. And I actually had a 550 Suzuki too. The 550 Suzuki was faster, there's no question about it. But as far as smoothness and performance, when they did this counterbalanced 350 for a single, man, you don't get any vibration virtually at all. And it's one of the things I love about the bike, the fact that it does give you this adequate, and I have to use the term adequate, because, you know, it's not 1,000 or 1,200 or like in a Harley a 1,600 cc engine. It's not that. And you know, if you're going up a pretty steep hill, you will have to downshift. Like right now, I'm going up a pretty steep hill. I just throttled up and I'm actually pulling faster. So it does have great low end torque, considering the fact that it's running only about yeah, see. I just wish people would look. I don't understand. Well, what are you doing, man? Nice. But the reality of it is, this thing will do whatever you ask it to do within its limitations. You're not asking a 14-year-old boy to lift 350 pounds over his head. That ain't gonna happen. You're not asking an overweight gentleman like myself to run a 12K. It just isn't gonna happen. I don't even know the determinations of it. That's how much I know about 12K running, or whatever they call them, 14K, 28K, I don't know. I'm not that guy. The only time I run is when I'm in trouble or I'm late for dinner. I know, right? Well, that brings us to our next point. Well, part of the handling is the fact that it does really, really well in the corners, and that means a couple different things. What that means is, not only does it give you an adequate lean angle going into some of these corners like we're doing right here, but it also gives you really good trail braking, particularly loading up the front end. I think it's a remarkable motorcycle for that. Like, again, it's not a sport bike, and it's not going to give you sport bike attributes as far as really, really you know, far lean angles like over 33% or anything like that. It's going to give you really good performance and handling and nimbleness for a cruiser. And again, the fact that it weighs under 500 pounds, and the fact that it you know, and it gives you the ability to ride two up in corner road, curvy roads like this, and just being able to throw it around so nice and easily. That's a big attribute to this bike, and it's one of the things I love about it, is the fact that it makes you feel secure. It gives you that security of knowing that on a curvy road that you can handle the motorcycle, whether you're a beginner, an old timer like myself, or just an intermediate that wants to enjoy motorcycling without spending a ton of money. Well, let's talk about the final thing in my top 5 things I love about the 2021 Meteor 350, and that is and you guys know me by now if you've been watching my videos. That's one of the most important factors that I get, and that's the smile factor. You know, when I first got on this bike, you know, I had no idea what to expect. I know I shouldn't say like, I love what Royal Enfield is doing. I think that their direction in the world market is incredible. I think they're doing everything right. Given the fact that you know, we're talking about everybody needs more and more fuel efficiency and more emissions control, these smaller motorcycles are going to be more and more important, simply because of the fact that they don't dump the carbon into the atmosphere that everybody in the world so what do you want to say, concerned about. And so these smaller engines are I think going to be the future of motorcycle. Well, that's one thing, but the smile factor for me is the fact that I can get on a motorcycle that has adequate power for Iron Lady and myself, that gives just sippy gas consumption. And the final thing is, it makes me smile and giggle like an idiot. But this bike does. It gives me miles of smiles. I giggle and laugh every time I ride it. It makes me happy. The only thing that makes me unhappy when I'm riding is like the guy before that pulled out in front of me. I'm glad I wasn't doing 70. I'm serious. Obviously I'd have been speeding, but the reality of it is you got to pay attention. But I really do have a big giggle and smile every time I ride this bike. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, guys, make sure this is the last week that I think I have to talk to the folks at Maxx Eyewear, but this is the last week for the Maxx HD Eyewear sunglass giveaway here on Old Man Ronin channel, and we've had quite a few winners, and it's been a lot of fun doing, and a lot of people have been entering. And there's guys that's been entering multiple times, which is cool, because what we do is we put your name in a hat and we pull it out, and that particular person wins the sunglasses from Maxx Eyewear. And it's a really good program. I think these guys make some of the best sunglasses for motorcycle riders, and they do for other activities as well too. Like they make great fishing glasses and tennis and golf and you name it, they make sunglasses for it. Even fashion stuff. But the Maxx Eyewear is really dedicated to motorcyclists, and that's one of the things that we partner with them. So I encourage you to send me an email, make a comment at the timestamp when you've seen that little logo down there, and get back to me as soon as you can. So you're entered, because we only got one more drawing that I'm aware of. I'm hoping I can extend it through October, but we'll see. But I really hope you enjoyed this video today, guys. This was man, I'm on a 350 Meteor. Why can I not be happy? So it was definitely a lot of fun making. If you did like it, make sure you give me some big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification button, share and comment. You know I read all the comments and comment on as many as I possibly can. Until next time, guys, ride safe and keep her on two wheels, baby. And go test ride this bike.